Hello and welcome to Little Learners. I recently asked on Instagram what kind of videos you wanted to see in 2020, and quite a few of you said that you wanted to know what you can do with your children who are in reception at home to support their learning. Now, of course, this channel is full of videos to help you do just that, but I thought it would be good to go through some kind of key things that you can be doing at home to support your child from a teacher's point of view. Before we get started, don't forget to click that subscribe button, and if you find this video helpful at any point, please do give it a thumbs up as it really helps out the channel. So the first thing to note is that many schools will give out at the beginning of each half term or each term a kind of idea of what children will be learning in that period of time. So for example, you might get a sheet of paper or a letter home at the beginning of a term, kind of laying out what children are going to be looking at, what kind of topics they're going to be looking at, and what skills they're going to be focusing on. So make sure you read that to get an idea of what your child's going to be doing at school and kind of the expectations of what they should be able to do by the end of that term or by the end of the year. I think one area that parents worry about and ask about the most is reading. What should they be doing in terms of reading with their child at home? When your child starts in reception, it's likely they won't be able to read any words yet unless they've been doing that at their nursery or preschool, or they've been taught to do that before they get to reception. However, it's so important that you share books with your child. Bedtime stories every day are really important. It's vital for them to see you reading and to be engaging with books. So even though they can't read yet, it's important for them to be looking at books, looking at the pictures, hearing stories, and discussing what's happening in stories as well. When children start bringing home reading books, that is when they read to you. At first, children might start bringing home some books with no words in them, and that's fine. Don't worry about that. It's important for them to be looking at the pictures and discussing what's happening and predicting what's going to happen next. These are all skills that are really important for later reading. Children might bring home some books that have very complex sentences in them and they can't read them yet. Double check with your child's teacher that they were definitely supposed to bring that one home, but this is quite normal, and it's because these books are meant to be read to them. Now, of course, then children move on to books in which there are words that they will be able to read or decode themselves. It's good to try and have your child read to you once every day. If they want to read more than that, then great. However, if your child is really struggling on a particular day, they're really tired or they're stressed about something and reading is becoming a real issue and they just don't want to do it or they're getting upset, then stop. Don't feel like you have to force them into it because we want them to enjoy reading. Now, if reading becomes a struggle every day and they just don't want to do it and they are getting stressed about it or upset about it or even anxious, then this is something to discuss with your child's teacher, because that's obviously not what we want for children and there will be an underlying issue there. So either they are worried about getting something wrong, or they are self-conscious about the amount of sounds that they know or don't know yet. So have a word with your child's teacher if they're struggling with that, but mostly you want to just have some reading every day. It doesn't matter what time of day you do this. It can be over breakfast, it can be on the way to school if you get the bus, for example, it can be after school, and it doesn't always have to be with the same person either. Just make sure that it's very calm and not really pressurised. You just want it to be a nice experience. Kind of linked to that is visiting your local library. This can be really lovely for children because they get to explore different books and understand what libraries are. Libraries are so important and we really need to be supporting them. It's obviously something that you can do for free. And your child can go and look at lots of different books, sit and look at them, and then maybe take some out. When you go to the library, you can allow your child to take out books that maybe they can't quite read yet and you need to read to them, but they're really interested in them. So for example, if they really like dinosaurs and they see a book about dinosaurs and it's a little bit above their reading level, then by all means let them take that out and you can help them read it. Obviously make sure everything is age appropriate, and it just gives them another world of reading to really dive into. Moving on to maths. So you do not need to sit at home and get your child to be doing addition and subtraction and kind of creating another classroom environment at home. What you can be doing though is encouraging them to notice numbers and shapes in their environment. Notice different numbers on front doors, for example. Get them to know the number on their front door. Ask them what kind of shapes they can see when you're on your walk to school. For example, they might see a road sign that's a circle or a triangle. You can also play games like I Spy, but with maths instead. So you might spy the number 5 and they have to look around and see where they can find the number 5. Or you might spy a square. Or you might say, I spy with my little eye something that has 4 sides. Or you might say, I spy with my little eye something that is smaller than a tree. And then that encourages your child to look around and think about size and comparing size to something else. So it really doesn't have to be a chore. It can just be something fun that you do so that they're noticing things in their environment. With young children, noticing things around them and through play is how they learn. Linked to that, let them play. Play is so important, and I think a lot of parents worry that when their child starts school in reception that they suddenly have to be doing lots of sit-down work, worksheets and booklets and things, and that's absolutely not the case. Children of this age learn through play and learn through their experiences, so play is so important. Also, join in with their play. It's great for them to see you playing with them and for them to have that kind of social aspect with you, to have fun with you. You can throw in a few things now and then, so if you're playing with Lego blocks, you might ask how many circles are on the Lego piece, but don't feel like you have to do lots of that. Play really encourages so much learning anyway, so very important to let them play. Also, it's important to remember that your child is exhausted after they've come home from school. They might not seem like it at first, or they might come home and their behaviour might be quite poor, and it's because they've been holding everything together at school all day. They will be exhausted because there is just so much going on at school. So to bring them home and to get them to do lots more schoolwork just isn't going to work. So let them play. If they really enjoy sitting down and working out maths problems, or they really enjoy reading, then absolutely let them do that, but make sure that it's their choice and it's something that they enjoy doing. Play doesn't have to mean that they are running around or that they are constructing a tower. Play might just look like sitting down and colouring or role-playing, coming up with their own stories. Let children experiment. Don't worry if they're getting messy. That's really how a lot of children explore the world around them. If they want to start mixing mud and paint and glitter and sticks together, as long as you've got somewhere for them to do that, let them do it. Having them help you with things like cooking can really help with their maths and also science skills as well. So there's just so much that they can be doing just in normal everyday activities that can help them learn, and you don't have to worry about pushing more learning on them or getting any more resources or anything like that. It's also really important to help your child with health and self-care at home as well, so making sure you're helping them become independent when they are getting changed, when they are getting ready for school, brushing their teeth, and when they're using the toilet. Another thing you can do that's really helpful is to check your child's book bag or backpack, whatever they take to school, every day. It might be that there is nothing in there on most days, but usually there will be some work that's sent home that either they've done at school and they're really proud of, so they want to bring home to show you, or there might be some work that they've been doing that their teachers asked them to take home. And also it will help you catch any of those letters that go home that are full of lots of useful information for you. Things like trips or head lice or events that are going on at school. Finally, make sure you ask your child about their day when they come home from school. A lot of the time, when you ask a child what they did at school that day, they will often say nothing, because they can't remember, or they've just done so much, or they've just been going about their day and haven't been thinking about the one thing that stood out that day. Some schools will use online observation systems like Tapestry. I made a video about that a while ago, and you can use that to see what your child's been doing at school. So if your school does use a system like that, then make sure you take note of it and you use it so that you can share your child's learning at home. I hope that's been helpful. I know probably a lot of parents were thinking that this video was going to be chock full of things that you can be doing with your child at home, and it is. Just maybe not in the way that you first thought. The most important thing is that your child is happy. That's where you need to start, and then anything from there on is a bonus. I do hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a like, as it really helps out the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.